They've been through rough times, abuse of children, gender violence.
In Romania, and especially with Roma, the poverty level is becoming higher.
A lot of Americans don't understand the troubles and struggles that North Koreans have.
남은 가족을 위해서 식량을 구하기 위해
They got so much hurt. We need to be kind.
So do you feel respected by the men in your community? तुम लोग को लगता है कि जो हमारे समाज
The people I work with are not only extraordinary dancers, performers, and now choreographers, but also nurturing teachers.
We're going to introduce ourselves by a dance move. Good. Once again.
With dance, across the whole universe, it becomes a language that everybody can understand. I don't have to speak dance in English. I don't have to speak dance in Arabic. I don't have to speak dance in Romanian. It becomes the same language.
We're making a piece that you will be performing and you will be creating it.
They come to this project not believing that they can do what we're going to ask them to do. And then by 1 week, they own something. I see more potential in them that they can see in themselves. You can use the chair as part of your movement.
How was your day?
It was really good. My group is really fun.
Today was for me not.
There is a certain way of surviving in these poor areas. It's about surviving every day.
In my 8 years of doing this and traveling to so many countries, usually creativity is really pounded out of children at an early age. There's a lot of punching, a lot of slapping, a lot of violence.
No, seriously. Tell her I'm not gonna warn her again. She's out.
What would you even say dance is? What is it?
자신을 말로 표현할 수 없는 걸 춤으로 표현할 수 있고 춤으로 이렇게.
When the music starts, you can be whatever you want to be.
This is an opportunity to show what you guys are capable of doing.
If I make a mistake, what are you going to do?
Connect with each other, not just two separate, be one together.
So the goal is very clear for all of us. Building bridges, you bring the world closer together.
Good day, I'm Ray Gibson from Art27 in the Netherlands. Art27 is a platform for artists, arts educators and arts organisations working in Europe and beyond, sharing stories, cultural programmes and raising awareness of critical issues such as social inclusion. Today is August 12th, 2020. It's International Youth Day, and International Youth Day gives an opportunity to celebrate and mainstream young people's voices, actions and initiatives around the world. And we're live streaming today. I'm joined by Jonathan Hollander from Battery Dance, who is actually in Battery Park. We're live streaming on Facebook, so if anyone has any questions, you can please write those in the chat. We will pick those up and do our best to answer. So greetings to you, Jonathan. You look like you're in a fabulous place.
Thank you so much, Ray. It's great to be here.
All right, and you found a good spot on a bench there in Battery Park. So you're actually from Battery Dance in the US. Can you tell us about what you're working on? What is this project?
Well, Battery Dance right now is filming in Battery Park City to get ready for what is the 39th annual Battery Dance Festival. We have to go virtual this year, of course, for obvious reasons. We thought in March that by August, we'd be able to have people in a public park setting watching live dance performances, but New York is not at that point yet. So my staff got very creative and we were able to film on a stage where we normally are for the live festival. Battery Dance Festival is New York's longest running public dance festival. So 39 years, we weren't going to let a year go by. We have 52 films from 19 countries with 23 world premieres. So that will kick off on Friday, the 14th of August, and we'll run through. So people can see that if they go to our website, which is batterydance.org, O-R-G.
Okay. Is that what I've seen the trailer for on the website? Yeah.
Yes, it is. The
Okay.
trailer for the festival, absolutely. Those are companies from Iran and from Iraqi Kurdistan, from Uganda, from France, from Greece, all over the world, contributing to this festival.
Oh, it was really inspiring to see the trailer. Everything, all those messages coming across that dance is beyond words, beyond stereotypes and cultural backgrounds. It just crosses through all boundaries. So I would recommend everybody go and have a look at that. How did this project start? How did it kick off? And when did it start, actually?
1976 is when Battery Dance was founded, so we're in our 45th year. And in fact, right behind me, a few blocks over in one of the historic streets of what was New Amsterdam, in Lower Manhattan, my name is Hollander. So there's some kind of synergy between this whole connection we have going right here. But I was a young dancer, choreographer, and as a choreographer, you really need to have dancers and musicians and technical people. So I founded Battery Dance here in this Battery area, Lower Manhattan, 45 years ago. And there are no theaters in this area. So the opportunity to reach the public, that was left to the piers and parks and plazas of Lower Manhattan, where we began performing always for free and always to the public, to try to provide access to the arts to anyone and everyone. And in fact, that ties in very strongly with our education approach, because too many times you find schools that have no arts program within the school. And so New York City has, in the public school system, over 1 million students. And depending on what school you're in, there might be an art teacher, there might be a music teacher, or there might be no art teachers whatsoever. But very rarely would there be a dance teacher on staff. So Battery Dance has been creating programs for New York City public school students for practically the full 45 years. And that has translated into the work that we do overseas, which your audience has seen on the trailer of Moving Stories.
Okay, and I saw that was 6 countries, was it? Or that's what was quoted anyway. It may be even more than that.
We've actually worked in 70 countries around the world.
Oh my, okay. That's a good number. Have you visited many of these yourself, Jonathan?
I have. I'm personally passionate about cultural exchange. I lived in India as a teenager when I was 16 years old, transplanted from Washington, D.C. suburbs to downtown Bombay. And the opportunity to live with a family, an Indian family, go to an Indian school, study the sitar, and be exposed to Indian classical dance and theater and music and literature. That was a life-changing experience. And I know that not everybody has that opportunity. It was sheer luck that I did. So through my career, I have tried to promote the international opportunity for people to understand each other through the arts.
Right, fantastic. So this is International Youth Day, and you touched on schools, often not having arts programs and certainly not dance programs. What kind of impact have you seen on the youth of New York City and other places that you've been?
What strikes me is that there's so much talent, and much of it is undiscovered, even by the student, him or herself. We sort of have the mantra that everybody is a dancer, they just might not know it. So we try to unlock creativity using dance as a medium. And we did learn everything that we know in the New York City public schools, because it's a very rough situation for kids here, oftentimes single family homes. Sometimes they're taking care of a younger sibling. And so the environment is difficult, and dance can provide a really wonderful release for young people.
Okay. So over 45 years, have you kept in touch with any of the, what would you call them, delegates or participants over the years? Have you seen people come back?
Very much so, very much so.
Okay.
The teachers that we've worked with in New York City public schools, the ones who have been our partners locally, because we're outsiders. We need somebody to open the door for us. And so those teachers have been friends and allies and advocates for us for decades.
Right. Okay. And any of the students gone on to study dance full time, or had a career in performing arts of any kind? Or
very much so, very much
Yeah.
so. There are several of the students who have taken the opportunity once they had the workshops with us to get scholarships at Alvin Ailey or Martha Graham School, some of the very, very well-known top dance academies in New York. So yes, one hopes that many students will have this kind of opportunity. Not everyone wants to become a professional dancer. It's a very hard life, but dance can be part of one's life, whether or not you take it up as a career or not.
Yeah. And I suppose the initial lessons that you're taking from that in terms of self-confidence and expression apply to everything that you do, which is great.
And also discipline, rigor, the idea that you have to be in a certain place at a certain time, or it could be dangerous. You could be endangering your colleagues, how to work together, how to actually convey to someone else what you care about and what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's remarkable what you've achieved over these years. Can you walk us through, let's say you have a new group, let's say there are 20 participants or something, and they're completely new to this. How do you encourage them to open up and start expressing themselves? How do you give them that initial confidence to get started?
Well, I have to say that at this point, I am kind of the entrepreneur.
Right.
And it's my dancers who are teaching artists and first-class, world-class dancers as well, that's part of the secret recipe of Battery Dance, that the people who work for us are magnificent artists, but they also are nurturing teaching artists. So they set the tone in the workshop. And what their job is to make everyone feel safe. Because when young people are doing something that they've never done before, there's a sense of self-consciousness and vulnerability. And so our teaching artists are brilliant at creating an environment where ridicule does not belong. Ridicule is left outside the door. And acceptance and positive energy is what it's all about. And I also say, with the cliche of the carrot and the stick, we use the carrot and no stick.
Right. Okay. So create that safe environment to explore, to be yourself, and feel you're not going to be criticized. So it's a yes environment. Okay.
Absolutely. You got it, Ray.
Very good. Very good. Well, it sounds wonderful. So
you know what's so interesting? I just want to add that in
it,
all of these programs that we've done, hundreds and hundreds of different groups around the world, I have never seen a group that failed. There has never been a group that just dissolved after the third day. It hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So that says something about the approach also.
It does. And I think it says something about people's inner need to express themselves, and given the right environment, they always will. And I think too often those feelings are suppressed in a regular environment or a regular system or a certain neighborhood perhaps, and people can feel limited, can't they? So yeah.
I also think that, when you think about early education and the beginning of school, there's a lot of messaging that goes on about sit still, don't move.
Yeah.
And so what I think is the natural child's ability to move and to be creative on a physical level is kind of baked out of kids.
Because it's easier for the teacher at that moment, isn't it, to have everyone in one place?
Well, there's that also, is classroom management and all of that. Yeah.
It's not easy to move big groups of people through an education system. It's a challenge, but I think that gradually we're waking up to the fact that there are different needs, and you see people like Sir Ken Robinson talking about this with passion as well, that expression and arts and culture need to be part of our regular curriculum, and we need to facilitate for individuals and not just try to move people through mass programs. So this is all very much in
it's always very interesting to me that the academics are on top of this information. They know that students do better in every subject if they've had the arts as part of the menu of what happens in school. And yet every time there's a budget shortage, the arts are the first thing to be cut.
Yeah. Well, this is part of today. We're raising awareness. We do our little bit to spread the word.
I'm so happy to be part of your program and part of
thanks
this
for joining.
endeavor.
So, let's remind everyone again how they can find you and how they can share your information. So it's movingstoriesfilm.com is one website.
That's
and
right.
batterydance.org is the other website.
Exactly. There's a lot of information there.
Okay. So what can people do straight after this talk now, in 5 minutes from now, what can people do to help?
We would love everybody to explore Battery Dance's website. You know, we are soliciting contributions because we're running a festival with, as I said earlier, 52 films. And it's not monetized. None of our programs have a paywall. So everything is voluntary. And if anybody feels moved to support, there are many ways of doing it on the website for the festival itself or for any of our programs. So we would be very grateful if people would support.
Okay, good. And to individuals watching out there that may be inspired and itching to move themselves.
I have a lot to offer. Thank you. I
please
have
share
that for that
please
cue.
share that.
Yes, on March 27th,
Yeah.
when all of our live programs came down, Battery Dance launched Battery Dance TV.
Okay.
And on Battery Dance TV, you can find ballroom classes, ballet classes, jazz classes, performances, and interviews. So there's a tremendous amount of content there, and it's all archived on the Battery Dance YouTube channel. So if people look on YouTube for Battery Dance, they will find over 650 different programs. So there literally is, there are children's classes, there's adult classes, there's something for everybody. And again, there's no paywall, it's all free.
Wow, there's a tremendous opportunity. So everyone has a safe environment. They can go to a room or something at home, right? So they can watch this and
we all need
get
that.
up and go. Yeah, so
we desperately need that. I would love to show your audience just in the last minute where I'm located right now, if you don't mind.
Of course.
You might be getting a little dizzy, but here we are in Battery Park, and I'm going to show you the iconic Lady Liberty in the distance. This is where we have all gathered over the last couple of days.
Oh, wow.
The first time ever since the pandemic that people have been able to dance live on stage for film. So here you see our stage.
Okay.
Where we're closing up now. And then this is the background that the dancers can be seen against. So when this starts, when our festival starts on August 14th and carries on through the end of August, this is the location that many of the performances will be seen against. And then films from Greece, as I said, you're in the Netherlands, and we have a film called Sisters by Emma Evelyn that is going to be part of the festival on the Europe and Japan Day. So we also have Riuel Rogers from Curacao, a dancer we premiered last year at the festival, a break dancer who's become very creative. He studied at Codarts in Rotterdam.
Right.
So he's been, you asked about people that we've discovered who've stayed with it. He's a perfect example.
Lovely. Okay. I'm going to tune in. Well, thanks so much for sharing your story.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for dealing with my shaky camera.
No problem. Well, I was born in 1976, so I know how long you've been going. And may it continue for many more years. This is probably the strangest year that you will work in this area. But yeah, fantastic that you keep this going. So batterydance.org for everybody watching, just a little reminder. Lots of content on their page that you can find also on their YouTube channel. And please go find the trailer on movingstoriesfilm.com, which is a really touching trailer as well. So thanks again, Jonathan.
Thank you, Ray. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll talk again soon.
Good luck.
All right. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.